Hey there, this is Veena from Paratha, the channel that's about baking and much more. A warm welcome to my channel. Today we're making a much requested recipe, sweet and hot, instant sour lime pickle. But I'm going to show you how to make it in two ways. The first will be a delicious pickle. The second will be a tasty sour lime pickle crush, and we'll make both without using any oil. I'll, however, post a video on the traditional lime pickle sometime soon, so stay tuned. But now, why wait? Let's start making these quick and mouth-watering lime pickles right away at Paratha. We'll start with the regular instant sour lime pickle. Here I have 300 grams of thin-skinned sour limes. You absolutely have to use thin-skinned ones. That is, they should have a give to them. You should be able to press them slightly. They shouldn't be very hard. These are also without any blemish. I have washed these 8 sour limes well and dried them with a kitchen napkin. Now let's cut each one into 8 pieces, like this. That done, let's remove the seeds from each piece. The seeds could make the pickle bitter, so see that you get all the seeds out. Okay, now let's transfer these to a vessel. I'll cover it with a lid and pressure cook these lime pieces in my pressure cooker. Once full pressure is reached, I'll lower the heat and cook the cut sour lime pieces under pressure for around 12 minutes, till the skins soften. I'm done with the pressure cooking, so let's check that the skins are soft. As you can see, the lime pieces have released a good amount of liquid. Let's strain this liquid into a steel kadai. I've just added sugar and grated jaggery to the strained liquid. I've added 165 grams, that is 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and 165 grams, that is 3/4 of a cup of grated jaggery. Let's mix this and then melt the sugar and jaggery on medium heat to form a syrup. The syrup is somewhat thin right now. It needs to be thicker than this. After around 3 minutes, it has thickened a little. So now we'll add the spices to it. I'll add 2 teaspoons of regular chili powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, and turn off the heat. I'll then add in a 1/4 teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, 1.5 teaspoons of roasted and ground cumin, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and 1.25 teaspoons of black salt. Let's turn on the heat again and cook the syrup for a couple of minutes more. Now we'll add the lime pieces to it. We'll give everything a good stir for just a few seconds and immediately turn off the heat and taste the pickle. It doesn't need any adjustments. We'll now let the pickle cool to room temperature and then transfer it to a dry, sterilized glass bottle. The pickle will thicken even further as it cools. Let's move on and make our next recipe, the sour lime pickle crush. Here I have 220 grams of thin-skinned sour limes. I have washed these 6 sour limes and dried them thoroughly with a kitchen towel. Let's now cut each of these into 8 pieces. And then, like before, remove the seeds from each piece. I'll transfer the pieces to a steel bowl with a lid and then freeze them in my freezer for at least 3 hours. Here are the frozen lime pieces after around 4 hours in the freezer. I'll coarsely grind them in my grinder jar in 2 parts. Freezing the lime pieces before grinding them prevents them from being ground to a paste. To the crushed sour lime pieces, we'll add 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 3/4 of a cup of grated jaggery. We'll stir and cook this mix on medium heat till the sugar and jaggery dissolve. Now that it has dissolved, let's stir in the spices. I'll first add 1.5 teaspoons of regular chili powder, followed by a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a large pinch of hing or asafoetida, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1.25 teaspoons of black salt. The consistency of the crush is too thin at present, so let's cook it on medium-low heat till it thickens. After around 7 to 8 minutes, it seems just right. You have to remember that it will thicken further as it cools to room temperature. Finally, let's taste the sour lime crush. I think it needs just a 1/4 teaspoon more of black salt, nothing else. We'll now let it cool to room temperature before transferring it to a dry sterilized bottle. Here's our delicious instant sour lime pickle. You could start enjoying it from the very next day. The skin might be somewhat firm, but give it a few days and the pickle will taste even better. This being an instant pickle, the skin won't be as soft as in the traditionally made lime pickle that matures and softens slowly over several weeks. Nevertheless, it is a good and quick pickle and you'll enjoy the taste. I've researched this pickle a lot and thought I'd pass on my frank observations to you. When stored properly, it will stay good in the fridge for at least 3 to 4 months. To repeat a few valuable tips, if you don't want the skin of the lime pieces to become too hard, use only thin-skinned sour limes. At the end of the recipe, don't boil the lime pieces in the syrup for more than a few seconds. And the syrup shouldn't be too thick. And here's the lime pickle crush we just prepared. Let it sit overnight to let all the sweet, tangy and spicy flavors blend properly. The slight hint of bitterness you might notice at the start will reduce and go away completely in just 4 to 5 days. When stored properly, this mouth-watering lime pickle crush will stay good in the fridge for at least 2 months. And that's it. We've made both the shortcut sour lime pickles. Both are tasty and worth giving a shot. If you want, make a small quantity first, like I have done today. And do stay connected for the regular lime pickle I'll be uploading soon. And yes, please don't forget about sending in your feedback. I would appreciate that.